Morning, guys. I've got a little unboxing here. It's Metal Bum. I wanted to talk about a couple things, and it's not just going to be about metals, it's going to be about emotions. And people are probably like, emotions? Like, we're stackers. We're stacking things as, here's my commemorative. We're stacking for, wealth. Feelings and psychology is more important in investing than anything, because if you're not centered with your emotions, then you can lose everything. And I think that a lot of people who are in the gold markets and silver markets, we tend to be either skeptical of the system, overly cautious, or maybe even too risk averse in certain ways, but in other ways there's a lot of us that are too risky. So everybody's different. There's two gauges of investing, and that's fear and greed. Anyways, guys, I don't want to get too into that, but just every once in a while you just got to gauge yourself. Do something like exercise, or there's something called the Miracle Morning by this guy. He basically almost died, and he was in a coma and all this crap, and then he recovered somehow. And then I do recommend this. Is something about doing these YouTubes has helped me reflect on a lot of my investments. So like, even though stacking and all this is probably, I go a lot into portfolios, like what percentages and ratios and things like that to gauge what I am. And that I only do that because I am an emotional person, and I might not sound like it here, but everybody's very emotions, and we have this like reptilian brain that kind of drives us with fear and greed, and we just can't help it. So just knowing these things can keep you from making bad decisions, selling everything, putting everything in on gold when gold is at 1800 or something like that, and buying too much Bitcoin, buying stocks in 2001, tech stocks, or buying the bubble in real estate. You can get too emotional, and it's like, yeah, Metal Bum, we know this, open the freaking eBay. But let's get into this, but just be aware of that. And then in the mornings, especially, what I'm trying to say is the Miracle Mornings is that's when you can really do some reflection and think about investing. But I think in general, there's a lot that are very pessimistic and think that there's going to be this global financial collapse, which there could be, and that's one of the reasons why I stack. But we got to be careful. We got to self-assess and think of what the probabilities of these things are. Like, is there going to be some sort of fiat collapse in the US system? Yes, but it could happen in 200, 300 years. So just think about that. That's why I wouldn't go all in on precious metals. I am like going heavily. I mean, I'm probably going to put about 5% of my portfolio at some point. I only have about 2% of my portfolio in precious metals right now. But I'm just kind of saying this. It depends on your outlook. It depends on where you are. I know that you guys probably know this. You've heard this before, but just listen to it again, because you can lose a lot if you put 100% of your net worth into something. And if you're young or if you have lost everything, you can rebuild. You can rebuild by living under your means and finding streams of income, and you can get out of it. I've been there. I've lived in garages before. I lived in a garage while I fixed up a house, but I bid on this on eBay, and I've been looking at these. And if you guys have been watching my videos, like, I usually buy stuff either at spot or under spot. I love American Silver Eagles. I love just any type of gold, especially if it's under. I bought these suckers for under spot, and I bought this one for like $100 under spot. I bought this full 1 ounce gold Canadian maple off Atmex. I got it for $1,200, I think $1,260, and I think at the time spot was $1,360. See my old videos on how to do that. It has to do with eBay bucks and all this stuff, and credit card stacking. But here we got 20 ounces of Engelhard silver. And I always keep my little handy dandy kit right here. See, I've got my little earth magnet. I quickly check, and I hold this at an angle, and I check how this slides down. Do you see how it's sliding down? I'm familiarizing myself with this. See how that slides down? It slides down slowly. Right here these are Engelhard. I don't know much about these. I just know that I dig these older. Do you guys know what years these would be, since they're serial number C? Anyone who invests in Engelhard, these are 10 ounce. I bought them for $360 for two by bidding on them. So it was $180, so it was $18 per ounce. Kind of high for the metal bum, but $18 an ounce for Engelhard silver. And I hope these are real. To me, these look pretty damn real, or else it's a very nice fake, but they're heavy. They passed my little silver test. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more tests. I'm gonna measure them. I'm gonna weigh them next to a 10 ounce Scottsdale. I'm gonna do a couple other magnet tests to just make sure. But I also, there's another note, when you buy off eBay, buy from guys that have like over 300 reviews, and you can check their reviews. I'll do some more videos, and I think I have a past video on eBay. What I was talking about emotions, and this is an emotional investment. There's something about silver that when you have it in your hand, and I recommend that, I'm recommending right now at some, like, try to get about $10,000 in silver and $10,000 in gold at some point. I don't know what all of your backgrounds are, and it happens to do with your net worth. I'd say put, like right now with this financial calamity possibly coming, a lot of guys are talking about they shill silver like it's going to go up to the moon, or $300 an ounce, all this stuff. I don't think so, but if it does, there's going to be a monetary debt crisis, money crisis, where like the economy just completely collapses. But let's be serious, it's probably not going to happen. I'm not saying it won't happen, but stack on anyways. And I think that there will be calamity, and there will be times when the silver market does change. Right now, the sentiment towards silver is not that great. It's starting to turn, and I think we have a lot of time to accumulate silver. I'd suggest about 1,000 ounces of silver or $10,000 worth of silver to hold physical silver. And then you can buy the SLVs and ETFs within your 401k. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do have I've made a few good investments in the past. I bought a lot of stocks in 2009, March. I have no idea how I timed this, but like I literally timed it the best time, because I wasn't that emotional. I wasn't afraid of losing the money because I was 20 something at the time. And right now I'm kind of in a good position, and I've got to be thankful and grateful for that. I bought a lot of real estate over the last 15 years. And trust me guys, buying real estate is very difficult. One unit is one thing, 20 units is another, and 50, 60 units is just, it's a business. Whatever business you're in, I'm in the real estate business, but I just want to say that like everybody's different. So the reason why I share some of these things with you is not at all to brag. Does it feel good that I've done pretty well? Yes, but I'm actually trying to get to like 10, 20 million net worth. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but at some point, maybe even 30 million net worth by the time I'm like 65 or something like that. That's in about 20 something years. It's a goal, and it doesn't stem just from greed. It can sound like that, but like it's just like there will be crashes, 20% crashes in the stock market, people losing their jobs, real estate tanking 20%, gold, silver going up and down 20, 30% over 2-3 years. It's just going to happen, and you've got to be aware of this. And that's why I diversified, because if you're diversified, the stocks can drop 30%, and this little thing right here can go up 50%. What am I going to do at that time? I'm going to rebalance. I'm going to use numbers. I'm very emotional. So, and I know that I am, and I've got an ego, and everybody has an ego, but I'm aware of this, and I try to self-assess, and use that to stack. But guys, stacking is fun. That's why I bought this poured silver, and I've been buying a lot of poured silver. I love poured silver. So anyways, guys, have fun, stay safe. Let me know, guys, about these Engelhard bars for you old timers. This looks real to me. I'm gonna try to do a couple more tests. What do you guys think? Was 180 a good deal on this? I don't know. I think so. So it was like $1.50 over spot. I think when I bought it, spot was $16.20, so it was like $1.80 over spot. But sometimes if you buy in bulk, then you do better. And go back to my other videos on just saving money, because like you can save like $5-10 a day on little things, like cut out cable. I didn't have cable TV because it was $70 a month. I didn't have cable TV for 10 years. $70 a month saved, $700 a year. That's, well, actually it's $840 a year times 10 years almost. $8,400 I saved by not having cable. I just used an HD receiver and downloaded I used my neighbor's password. I asked him for his password and I used his Wi-Fi, so I saved money there too. You can save $8,000 over 10 years. There's your $10,000 worth of silver that I'm talking about. But those are the little things you can do to stack, but also try to make more money with your job, and then try to put it into something, stocks, bonds, assets, cryptos, whatever, in an amount that makes sense for what you're doing. And that's adjusted for risk. And by what I mean by adjusted for risk is, if it's very risky like cryptos, don't put 30% of your wealth in it. Put 1% of your wealth in it. Maybe gold and silver, put 20% of your wealth in it. Stocks, maybe put 20% of your wealth in it. Diversify that. And then bonds, maybe put 10% of or 20% of your wealth. And then the rest of it use to invest in yourself, pay for your, whatever you need to do, and maybe 20-30% in real estate. All right, guys, I'm going on and on and on. I'll talk to you guys later. Metal Bums out.